The Minnesota Vikings cut 2 players to make room for Nick. Welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I am Lupagus, and the Minnesota Vikings had the big trade today with the Las Vegas Raiders acquiring a brand new backup quarterback in Nick Mullens, and to make room for Nick Mullens on the roster, they got rid of two players. We're going to talk about who they let go before we do. Remember, this video is brought to you by Liftbridge Brewing Company. Hit them up at the beautiful facility in Stillwater. If you're a Patreon, you saw the tour I did of the facility. And also, you can find their beer in liquor stores across the state of Minnesota, into Wisconsin, maybe North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa as well. And also drop hashtag 7500 in the comments for your chance to win. The Madden code will be given away. We're just a couple away, so that drawing will be probably tomorrow is my guess. All right, Minnesota Vikings released 2 players. One was pretty obvious. The other one was kind of a little bit more surprising. So let's talk about that. Nick Mullens came in via trade, so obviously to make room for him, they had to let somebody go. But instead of letting one player go, the Vikings decided to let 2 go. The first one is Julian Taylor, the defensive lineman. Again, not really a surprise here. Taylor was a long shot to make the team. Now he hadn't played football in the last couple of years. Didn't hear a whole heck of a lot about him in camp. I think he mostly ran with the threes, didn't make a lot of plays. So Julian Taylor let go. Thank you for your service, Julian. The other one, I don't say it's surprising, but the timing's a little interesting. Albert Wilson, the veteran wide receiver, Minnesota Vikings had him returning punts earlier in camp. He actually had 2 touchdown receptions in the game against the Raiders, but the Vikings let him go. So I think we can actually read into a couple things here with Albert Wilson. Number one, the Vikings doing him a favor, thinking he may be able to catch on with another team by letting him go now. He's a veteran. Maybe some teams need some help at wide receiver. I mean, Wilson didn't look bad. It's just weird. He's wearing number 25, so everybody thinks he's a running back out there. But he played well. Again, he had the 2 touchdown game. But I think the biggest thing to read into here with the Vikings releasing Wilson is just the fact that maybe they're going to go young at wide receiver as far as the depth goes. Look at the top of this roster. You got Jefferson, Thielen, KJ Osborne. Those 3 are all making it and going to be a huge part of this offense, really the biggest part of the receiving core. I think Amir Smith-Marset, likely your number 4. BC Johnson's probably safe. So there's 5. So if they're going to keep up to 7, I think they're obviously going to go with the younger route. Jalen Naylor, Tristan Jackson are probably the 2 favorites to make it after that. But Myron Mitchell is also a dark horse who could sneak onto this roster. He's had himself a solid camp as well. So I just think this shows the Vikings are probably going to go, when it comes to the bottom of the receiver depth chart, they're going to go with youth over experience. And they know that, and that's why they let Albert Wilson go right now. And hopefully Albert Wilson catches on with another team. But he'll be one of these guys that, 4 years down the road, like, oh, yeah, I remember when Albert Wilson was here for a camp. And we'll all be like, oh, yeah, he was. And then that'll be it. We won't talk about it anymore. But that's it. So Minnesota Vikings let go of Julian Taylor, Albert Wilson. They still got to get 4 more cut tomorrow because they have to get down to, I believe it's 80 players. Or 75, maybe it's 75 tomorrow. I don't know. They have to cut 4 more because they brought in 1, they cut 2, 4 more will be let go tomorrow. We'll be all over that when that happens. So yeah, exciting times for the Minnesota Vikings right now. And what else is exciting is to keep your skull in your hole.